Hi, I'm Casey, and for those of you who are joining me right now, chances are you've read at least one blog post from my blog, Middle School Teacher to Literacy Coach. I'm super excited that you were interested enough in middle school literacy to read any of my blog, and I'm also really excited to be coming to you via video for the first time. It's just something new that I wanted to try this summer, just to get my ideas out there in a different way besides writing blog posts. So this is my first official blog post video, so welcome. My topic of conversation that I'm going to be talking about today is I'm going to be talking about reading workshop primarily. But before I talk about reading workshop, I just want to throw a couple of words out there. And because it's summer, these words might make you kind of cringe a little bit because they're what I would consider to be educational buzzwords. Differentiation, gradual release of responsibility, zone of proximal development. All three of those things are things we hear as teachers over and over and over again of things that we have to do in our classroom in order to successfully reach our students. And what I'm going to tell you is, going back to that concept of reading workshop is the answer to hit all three of those things. If you want to be able to reach all of your students, your low readers who really struggle, who are way below grade level, to your upper readers who are probably smarter than you are. I know I had a couple like that this year as 8th grade students where I just felt like, geez, these students are brilliant. What do I have to offer them? But really, if you set up reading workshop in your classroom, you can really reach all students at once. So one thing I want to talk about with reading workshop is that idea of how do you start it? How do you begin? Do you just all of a sudden one day throw out a mini lesson and say, this is what readers do, let's go? I'm going to say no. As a middle school teacher, we know that students thrive on expectations and they thrive on having those specific guidelines and rules and things that are structured for them every day. And as much as I love structure, I also love fun, and I also love going with the flow. And so I think reading workshop is something that can encompass both of those things all at once. If you're one way or the other, depending on what teacher you are, or if you're like me and a little bit of a mix of both, it can be really good for all kinds of people. And really it's good for all types of learners and all types of students. So reading workshop, the reason I think that it is the way to go, it's because every single day you are getting that whole group, small group, and individualized instruction. Every day students are experiencing a whole group mini lesson, and then they are moving down into that small group where you are pulling either a guided reading group or a literature circle group each day. And then also it has that flexibility too where you can pull students for reading conferences and talk to them one-on-one about their independent reading. Reading workshop is something, though, like I said, it's not just you start and here we go. It's something that has to be set up. Routines and expectations have to be established. You might start out your school year with a mini lesson on how to write down a mini lesson in your reader's notebook. You might have a mini lesson on how to turn and talk to a partner, how to write a reading response, how to set goals about reading, how to read independently, how to select a book. Those seem like such trivial things, but really to students working in a new environment each year, those expectations and routines have to be set up each year. If you want to skip over that, you're going to find yourself in the middle of the school year looking back and saying, why isn't this working? Why are my students out of control when I try to hold a guided reading group? So I guess my main message today is to set up those routines and expectations, to do mini lessons on the simple things that are going to get students thinking about what it means to be a reader, what it means to be a reader in my 7th grade classroom, in my 6th grade classroom, in my 5th grade classroom, in my 8th grade classroom, depending on what grade you teach. You want those students to be thinking about, what does it mean for me here? How can I best participate in this environment where I'm going to become a better reader, and I'm going to allow the others in my classroom to become better readers as well. So thank you for listening to my first video message via blog, and I hope to do a couple of more of these to get to know you. If there's something that I said that you want to comment on or ask me a question about, feel free to leave a comment below. It was nice seeing all of you, and I hope you have a good day.